Most men think the way to win a woman's heart is by chasing, pleasing, and proving themselves. But the opposite is true. The moment you stop chasing, everything changes. Not only how she sees you, but how you see yourself. As Marcus Aurelius once said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you stop making her the center of your life and start making yourself the priority, the balance of power shifts. She begins to feel the absence she once ignored. At first, she doesn't notice. But as time passes, the silence grows heavier than any words. Your absence speaks louder than all the effort you once gave. Women don't value what is freely handed over. They value what feels rare, what they might lose. It's not cruelty, it's human nature. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." If you're constantly craving her attention, you show her your poverty of spirit. But when you stand firm, when you stop begging for validation, you remind her that your presence is a privilege, not a guarantee. Think of it like supply and demand. A diamond is valuable not because it sparkles, but because it is scarce. Your attention works the same way. When it's constant, it becomes invisible. When it's scarce, it becomes priceless. That's why so many men who overgive end up feeling drained, invisible, and unappreciated. Epictetus taught, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Don't be afraid if she misreads your silence as disinterest. Don't rush to explain yourself. The man who can walk away without fear gains her respect, while the man who chases loses it. So what happens when you stop chasing? She begins to question herself. She wonders why your energy shifted. She replays old conversations, rereads your messages, and realizes she may have taken you for granted. But the most important shift isn't in her, it's in you. Because the moment you reclaim your energy, you step into your true strength. You stop living for her approval and start living with purpose. That is the first step to becoming a man who is respected, not used. When you stop chasing, her emotions shift in ways most men never expect. At first, she may appear calm, even indifferent. But beneath the surface, confusion sets in. She begins to wonder why you are no longer checking in, why your attention has disappeared. What was once predictable is now uncertain, and uncertainty awakens powerful emotions. Soon, confusion turns into curiosity. She replays old conversations, rethinks her behavior, asks herself questions she never considered before. Did I push him away? Is he seeing someone else? That reflection stirs discomfort because it exposes the truth she may have taken your effort for granted. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." In her imagination, the fear of losing you grows stronger than the reality of having you. This fear is not weakness, it's human nature. Scarcity makes anything more valuable. Your attention, once abundant, is now rare and therefore priceless. Different women react in different ways. Some go silent, testing your patience, waiting to see if you'll break and reach out. Others send casual messages, not to talk, but to measure if they still hold power. Some turn to social media, posting photos or quotes designed to trigger jealousy. But all of these actions share one truth. Your absence has unsettled her. Epictetus said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Her tests, her silence, her attempts to provoke you, none of these define you. Your task is to remain unmoved, focused on your own growth. The moment you react emotionally, you give away the strength you worked so hard to reclaim. The most telling reaction is effort. When she feels she is losing you, she may try harder. More calls, more affection, even changing her appearance. But remember, this is not about controlling her response. It is about respecting yourself enough to let her show you who she really is, without you losing focus on who you are becoming. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." In the same way, the best response to her emotions is not anger, not games, but calm self-respect. By stepping back, you force her to see you in a new light, not as the man who chases, but as the man worth chasing. Staying composed is what separates a man who commands respect from one who is forgotten. Most men collapse under pressure. They react to every word, every test, every silence. But a stoic man remains calm, unshaken. As Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Women test not to destroy you, to see if you are strong enough to stand firm. When she withdraws, mentions another man, or challenges you, she is asking one question: are you grounded, or will you crumble? If you panic, over-explain, or beg, you lose the very respect you desire. But if you stay calm, focused, and indifferent to drama, you rise above it. Think of a mountain in a storm. The wind howls, the rain falls, but the mountain does not move. That is how you must be. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. If she tries to provoke you, your silence, your calm, is your strength. This composure tells her you are not controlled by emotion. You are in control of yourself. Imagine this. She suddenly becomes distant. Most men would flutter with messages, desperate to win her back. But the composed man does not chase. He invests in himself, trains his body, builds his future, lives with purpose. And when she returns, curious about his calm, he simply says, "I've been busy." No drama, no desperation, only strength. Seneca once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Composure is freedom. It frees you from her tests, from emotional chaos, from weakness. And this freedom makes you magnetic. She begins to see you not as another man in the crowd, but as the rare man she cannot shake from her mind. True power is not in chasing, not in reacting, but in standing tall, calm, and unshakable. When you embody composure, you gain not only her respect, but something greater, your own self-respect. And that is the foundation of every strong man's life. When the balance of power shifts and she starts chasing, this is the moment most men fail. They think her return means they've won. But victory is not her coming back. Victory is you staying in control. Marcus Aurelius warned, "You have power over yourself, act accordingly." Many men slip into old patterns, giving away the respect they've earned. They forget that her effort may not be permanent. Ask yourself, is she truly valuing me now? Or is she only afraid of losing the attention she once had? Reflection is critical. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." You must decide if her return aligns with your values, your vision, your future. If she proves worthy, set the tone. Make it clear your attention must be earned, that your time is valuable, and that respect is non-negotiable. But if she falls back into old patterns, you must be ready to walk away. Seneca once wrote, "He who is brave is free." Walking away is not weakness. It is freedom, the ultimate sign of self-respect. Picture this. She texts more, calls more, makes you her priority again. The unwise man dives back into chasing, undoing his progress. The stoic man stays measured. He watches her actions, not her promises. He asks, does she lift me up, or does she drain me? If the answer is the latter, he lets go without anger, knowing he loses nothing by honoring his standards. The shift is not about her, it is about you. For the first time, the choice is yours. Whether you allow her back or release her, you do it from strength, not need. And that choice is the true sign of a man who leads. Respect comes not from being chosen, but from choosing wisely. At the heart of all of this lies one truth. Your greatest power as a man comes from detachment. Not coldness, not indifference, but the ability to stand on your own, free from the need for validation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. When you no longer need her approval, you gain something far more valuable: freedom. Detachment means you are willing to walk away from anything that does not serve your growth, whether it's a woman, a job, or a lifestyle. Seneca said, "He who is brave is free. Courage is not clinging. Courage is letting go." A man who can walk away with dignity is a man who commands respect everywhere he goes. Think of it like investing. A wise investor does not pour money into a failing stock out of hope. He withdraws and invests in what grows. Your time, energy, and attention are your most valuable assets. When you stop wasting them on what drains you and invest them in yourself, you become unstoppable. Epictetus taught, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Focused detachment is freedom in practice. It is choosing peace over drama, growth over stagnation, purpose over desperation. And when you live this way, the right people are drawn to you while the wrong ones fade away. The truth is, you don't need her attention to be whole. You don't need anyone's approval to be complete. What makes you a man is not how others see you, but how firmly you stand in your own values. When you embrace this, you stop chasing. You start living. And in that moment, you become the man who is respected, admired, and remembered.